Welcome back to Golden Goose, and today we're doing something a little bit different here on the channel. Today, we are asking the question, what would happen to Alabama if they only played top 25 teams every single game? Would they go undefeated? Would they go on to win national championships? We're going to find out as we go through 3 seasons with the Alabama Crimson Tide, where they only get to play ranked opponents. If you guys like this idea and you kind of want to see this done with other teams in other fashions, make sure you smash that like button and let me know in the comment section down below what other teams you'd like to see put up to the challenge. So here's the schedule we made for Alabama. They start things off against UCLA, they're ranked number 20, then Vanderbilt at 25, Texas A&M, Florida State, Boise State, Notre Dame, South Carolina. The only unranked opponent is USC, but they're a very talented team, and I feel like they're going to be ranked throughout the season, so I put them down lower on the schedule, as these 3 weeks we had no opportunities to play ranked opponents. And then we have LSU, Florida, Clemson, and Stanford. Now, this is going to be a wild ride. A+ overall schedule. And how did I do this? Well, I moved Alabama to the independents, so they no longer have a conference, but they get to play all these ranked opponents and truly earn their way to a national championship. I guess this series kind of asked the question, does this team suck? Or is this team really good? Because obviously, if you're a number 1 championship contending team, you should be able to beat teams below you in the rankings. So we're really going to test it with this, I guess, mini little series here on this 1 episode special. I don't hate Alabama. I'm not against Alabama. I have no ill will towards them, and I don't have any ill will towards any teams I test with this method. But I think this would be pretty interesting to see if Alabama could take on these top teams week upon week upon week and always win. So let's start off by going to week 4, simulating 3 of the games. So we're going to play UCLA, Vanderbilt, and then Texas A&M. Now, these are great teams. I mean, Vanderbilt not so much, but this is going to be really interesting. So let the simulation begin. I would love to hear your predictions down below for how you think Alabama's going to do in this challenge. Are they going to win out all 3 seasons, go to the Natty 3 times, get 3 national championship trophies? Are they going to lose out? Are they going to become unranked? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. But in the first 3 games, Alabama's proving they don't suck. They're a great team. Obviously, they're 99 overall in every category, but they beat UCLA handily by 34. They beat Vanderbilt by 20, and they beat Texas A&M by 21. This is going to really shake up the top 25, because if Alabama just keeps going through, beating all of these people, and look at USC is now ranked number 23. If they go through and just beat all these people, the top 25 is just going to be shaken up every single week. It's going to be ridiculous. Here's how things stands with the independents right now. BYU, Navy, 2-0 each, and then Notre Dame 2-1. They're still in the top 10. We do face them later this season, so hopefully they can keep that momentum going. The next stint of games is Florida State University, Boise, then Notre Dame, and I think we're going to do South Carolina. 4 games in a row up to the USC game. After those 4 games, Alabama is still undefeated, beating Florida State by 9 and Boise State only by 7. They were some close matchups, but then they went on to stomp on Notre Dame by 24 and beat South Carolina by 25. Now USC is ranked in the top 5. They were unranked in the preseason. Now they're ranked in the top 5 because Alabama's destroying everyone in the top 25, just shaking up the top 25 every single week. LSU's in the top 10s and at number 7. Florida's at number 15. Clemson fell out of the top 25. They're 3-3, so they're probably going to get crushed. Stanford's ranked 14 at 4-2, but see, at 4-2, they're still in the top 15 because Alabama's crushing everyone above them. So, I mean, we have 5 games left. We have USC, LSU, Florida, Clemson, and Stanford. It's going to be interesting to see if we can stay undefeated. The top 25 is just so shooken up. Ohio State, Kansas State, Oregon State, USC, Louisville. These are all undefeated teams. Iowa's undefeated and in the top 10. I mean, North Carolina State's undefeated and in the top 15. And some of these teams, 3-3 Notre Dame is still in the top 20. 3-3 Texas is in the top 20. Just because it's so shaken up. Connecticut's entered the top 25 at 5-0. But after the USC game, we have 2 bye weeks. Then LSU, then the University of Florida, then Clemson, and then Stanford. Let's see if we can go undefeated up to the conference championship week. Okay, I can't believe what happened. After those 5 games, Alabama dropped 2 of them. They beat South Carolina 35-10, but they lost to USC 21-26. That was a crazy close game, and then after 2 bye weeks, come in and beat LSU 41-31, only by 10, but then lost to Florida 33-38. Another crazy upset, and then 35-7 beat Clemson, and then they beat Stanford 45-28 to close the season. But Alabama is no longer ranked number 1 going into conference championship week. If we look at the top 25 here, Ohio State went undefeated at 12-0, Oregon went 11-1, and Texas A&M went 9-3. But Alabama beat Texas A&M, so I feel like they should definitely be ranked above them at number 3. These two teams are going to be playing in some type of conference championship game, so Alabama still has a chance to get in the championship game. It's going to be close, but they do deserve it. I have to say, taking on this many top 25 opponents, ranked opponents, it's tough. It's grueling week in, week out. But Alabama is the best team. 99 overall, 99 offense, 99 defense, and they get the best recruits. So it's only fair that they have the hardest schedule, right? Like, if we look at this recruiting board, Alabama secured so many top talents here. Like, just, it's ridiculous the amount of recruits that have committed to Alabama already. These overalls are just great. Some of the best recruits in the nation have committed, and some more are ready to commit to Alabama as soon as the season's probably at its close. They're probably waiting to see if they go to a national championship, but Alabama just secures top-tier talent all day. But let's advance to bowl season and see what happens. Right now, we're predicted to go to the Rose Bowl, but, I mean, I feel like we still have a chance at the national championship. Alabama's quarterback just missed out on the Heisman, but he was still in contention, so, I mean, still pretty good. Had a great season. And Alabama, they just don't get into the national championship, going 10-2. Defeating a lot of top teams. They're going to the Rose Bowl against Oregon State, I should say. Looks like Oregon and Ohio State are going to the national championship. They both won their conference championship games. That's just insane. I mean, number 1 and number 2, we didn't play them, so we definitely have to get them on the schedule for next season. But for Alabama to go to the Rose Bowl, it's still a great bowl game. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the best bowl games out there. But it's just so crazy. Top 25, I mean, Texas A&M finished above us here in the coaches poll, which doesn't make any sense. They went 10-3. They got beat by Alabama, but for some reason we get stiffed at number 4. Media polls have Alabama number 5, with Texas A&M still above Alabama. BCS polls still put Texas A&M above Alabama, which I just don't understand. We beat them. We have a better record. I mean, I get being maybe number 4 behind Oregon State, but we had a tougher schedule, so we definitely should be number 3. This is some BS. Can Alabama get the W? Let's find out here in the Rose Bowl. Alabama did it 34-22. They won the bowl game, going 11-2 on the season, and they end things ranked number 2 in the nation, so not bad. And I think they're probably going to be in the preseason polls number 1 through number 3. So let's go to the next season, build a schedule, and see what happens after 2 years of only playing top 25 teams. So Alabama is number 1 in the preseason polls, so it's time to build a very tough schedule for them again. Top 25 opponents only. Honestly, I like to start the season with like 23 and 24 because they might not be top 25 by the end of the season, so we're going to try to get some of the lower ranked top 25s first and then go after some of the higher ones like TCU and Virginia Tech. And we're going to do it at maybe these schools. I don't know. I don't want to challenge them too much, but I definitely want the challenge to be there for Alabama. Let's see what we can do with some maybe top 10 opponents. There's Texas. We can go there for sure. We got Boise State again. A nice little rematch. We didn't see Ohio State yet. I'm definitely going to have to get them on this schedule. So maybe we'll go week 1, see if we can find Ohio State. They were in the national championship last season. Oregon was in the national championship. So maybe we try to get both of those teams on our schedule this season. Maybe to start the season off with a huge bang. That would be a fun way to do things. Let's see. Let's find Oregon. There they are, number 2. So starting off against number 3 and number 2. That's going to be interesting. Then number 8, Texas. That's a good matchup. Let's see if there's anyone better than Boise State sitting around here in the top 25 on this week. Oklahoma. Wow, that's a very interesting way to start the season. This might be the toughest season we've done. This is a lot tougher than last season, in my opinion. Let's go back against Oregon State. That can be a rematch. Actually, no, I want to do Notre Dame for sure. Maybe Oregon State if we can find them in here, if they're going to be available later in the season. As you can see, no top 25 teams here, so we're going to make that an open week. Is there any top 25 teams here? Boise State, okay. Arkansas. Ooh, we can take on Florida again. They beat us last season. Okay, let's see. Top 22, Tennessee. Let's do Georgia. Man, this would be such a lit season if it were real. If this was real, it would make every Alabama game so entertaining. Okay, put a bye week there. We got number 14, Michigan State. How many games did we schedule? We don't want to schedule them like 14 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this will be 11. Let's get USC again. And then on the last week of the year, it looks like there's nobody. What about right here? Okay, North Carolina State. I don't know if they're going to be around in the top 25 anymore, but there are only options. So there we go. There's all 12 games, all in the top 25. And we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games that are in the top 10. It's going to be ridiculous. This schedule is literally so ridiculous. I mean, you couldn't write up a better schedule if you tried. Look at 4 away games in a row. 5, actually. Wow, we didn't mean to do that. That's going to be a tough ride for Alabama. They still do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 home games, too. So they have 7 away, 5 home. Making the schedule truly tough on this team. I mean, if they can get to the national championship through this, they're just the most OP team in NCAA history, especially in NCAA 14 history. And just to confirm, they're still 99 overall in every category, so they should still have a fighting chance in this schedule. We're going to do the Ohio State game, the Oregon game, the Texas game, and the Oklahoma game to start things off in this first round of simulation. Let's see how Alabama fares. Big surprise here. Alabama lost 2 of their first 4 games. One, they lost by 30 points against Oregon. Oregon won the last national championship, and they destroyed Alabama in that contest. And then they lost to Texas by 3 points. Now, Alabama only lost 2 games last season. They went 11-2 after their bowl game. And they lost them late in the season, costing them the national championship. But they lost these early. If they went out against some of these top teams that they're facing coming up, they could still get in the national championship. There's still hope. They beat Ohio State by 7, and they beat Oklahoma by, 14? So it was some good contests. But, man, they got whooped by Oregon. But they're still sitting at number 6 with Notre Dame, Boise State, Florida, and Georgia coming up in the next 4 games. If they can win all 3 of those, they could probably be in the top 5 again. Let's advance through these contests and just see how things go. Obviously, Notre Dame, Boise State, University of Florida, and Georgia being our next 4 games. After those 4 games, Alabama lost another one to Florida 2 seasons in a row, 33-34. That was a heartbreaker, but they beat Notre Dame 35-31, Boise State 34-13, and Georgia 49-24, keeping them in the top 10. But now sitting at 5-3, I think their hopes for a national championship are pretty much gone. They are taking on number 8 LSU. Michigan State is ranked number 22. North Carolina is ranked number 2, and USC ranked number 6, so they might have a chance, but it's small. Here's how the top 25 is shaping up right now. Texas A&M and North Carolina State sitting at number 1 and 2. Michigan, Texas, Oregon all have 1 loss. USC has 2. Georgia State has none. LSU and Florida both have 2. So Alabama just needs to beat LSU. If they can beat USC, I mean, they're going to be looking at maybe top 5 contention, another Rose Bowl. They're going to need to get lucky, though, to get into the national championship. And Alabama's recruiting so far has not been hot. A lot of recruits locking them out. Alabama having to start from scratch. They do have some commitments, but none of these players are a complete fire. So it's going to be interesting to see if their overall gets worse as they lose some of these games in the top 25. We got Alabama's head coach recruiting all the way up to everything. So recruiting should be really solid for them. So we're going to sim through LSU, Michigan State, North Carolina, and USC into the conference championship just to see where Alabama finishes their second season against all ranked opponents. Alabama did it! They won out their last 4 games, beating LSU by 26, beating Michigan State by 30, beating the number 1 ranked NC State by 32, and beating USC by 14, putting Alabama in the number 1 seat for the national championship. Now, right now, it looks like they could be taking on Texas here in the national championship. They did go 9-3, worse than last season, 10-2 last year, 9-3 this season, but they lost games at the right times early in the season and then finished strong, which is all that matters. And as you can see, it really looks like it's going to be these 2 teams in the national championship. And if Alabama can beat Texas, they've done it. They've run the table after 2 seasons of facing only top 25 talent. they won the Natty. If they can do that, then they're one of the greatest teams of all time. We're going to cement them. Obviously, they already are, but this truly is the toughest test they've ever had to face. Let's go to bowl season. People in for the Heisman. Both of them didn't get it, but it was close. And yes, it's happened. Alabama is playing Texas A&M in the national championship game. So Texas must have lost a conference championship or something, and now Texas A&M gets in to play Alabama for the national championship. Oh, Alabama was not able to get it done in the national championship, losing by 17 to Texas A&M, 56-39. I still have to say I'm extremely impressed with Alabama. 2 seasons of running the table against only top 25 talent. But now, as you can see, they're ranked number 9 going into the postseason. Probably going to be ranked somewhere in the top 5 or top 10 going into next season. So if they kept this up and didn't win national championships and kept losing 2 or 3 games this season, I think slowly after about 4 seasons, we'd see Alabama maybe go unranked. 4 or 5 seasons of this for sure, but it just shows how talented they truly are and how talented they are in NCAA 14 to be able to run the table like this, go to the national championship, not get the win, but still, I think this was a really fun challenge, a fun theory. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications if you're new, and until next time, peace out.